WWE Fastlane 2023 is in the books, and I liked it. I just don't think that it was a mind-blowing PLE. I think it was one of the more run-of-the-mill PLEs of the year that we won't really be talking about for a very long time. That's not to say that it was a bad show. I just think that in terms of what we've come to expect from WWE Premium Live events as of late, I think it left a lot to be desired. There were a lot of story beats that I felt like it could have hit that it just didn't, and they did a decent job at explaining why those story beats weren't hit. But still, it's just leaving me with a sense of, I feel like it could have been more. But again, it wasn't a bad PLE. Welcome to my review of WWE Fastlane 2023. Let's get into it. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. I should probably explain why I'm dressed like this. I'm just realizing that I've been dressed like this for the past 3 hours over on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/SantiZap. We hit a sub goal over there, okay? It's not as if I just like to routinely dress up as Sailor Moon. Look, I know I'm pulling it off, and I know that I kind of look like Sid the Sloth with these things on, but hey, you know what? We're doing it for the clout, baby. We're doing it for the clout. Also, ignore the chat. They're screaming for help right now, but they're fine. They're okay. They're just begging for attention. So the show shockingly started with Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso taking on the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. This was a bloodline match to a T, where the first 15 of a 20-minute match felt very much like a slogfest. It felt very much like a beatdown of somebody up until the last 5 minutes when things kind of really break loose. And it really, truly did feel like a bloodline match from beginning to end, because the last 5 minutes are always really exciting. And it was no different here, but also just like any Judgment Day match that we've had for the last 6 months or so, it was heavily overbooked. But again, I'm not saying that that's necessarily bad. It's just a lot of outside things always seem to take place whenever somebody from the Judgment Day has a match, and that was no different here. But in terms of story beats, I think that this match really hit them perfectly. Let's start off with what happened with Judgment Day, because Judgment Day was winning this match. Like, from what I could tell, they were in the driver's seat. I cannot take myself seriously with these things. Anyways, they were in the driver's seat. They were about to win. Damian Priest was about to put Jey Uso through a table until JD McDonough put his Olive Garden waiter looking ass into the match and accidentally hit Damian Priest with his very own Mr. Senor Money in the Bank briefcase, causing a domino effect that ultimately led to Jey Uso doing a pin on, was it Jey Uso? I think it was Jey Uso. Jey Uso pinning, was it Jey Uso? Now I don't remember, chat. One of them pinned Finn Balor and ultimately caused Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes to be your new WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Apparently it was Cody, according to the chat, so shout out to chat for confirming that. The match itself was, again, like I said, a bloodline match, but the last 5 minutes I thought were a tremendous amount of fun. Overall, for me, this match does get a thumbs up, but I'm very curious as to what they're planning on doing in terms of story beats. Clearly, we know where this is going to go with the Judgment Day, because now we have Finn Balor, Damian Priest, who are titleless. We have JD McDonough, who's probably going to get crucified by Damian Priest on Monday Night Raw. But what does this mean for Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes? Because clearly there's something bigger here. Are they both going to Friday Night SmackDown? Is the announcement that Cody's going to SmackDown forcing a split of the titles? Again, it leaves a lot of questions, which is exciting, but overall, I think the match was good. I think it's just leaving me with a lot of questions, which again, isn't necessarily a bad thing. Crazy way to start the show, which again, new tag team champions, which is just weird to see the title change so many times after seeing the Usos hold this thing for over a year. So overall, this gets a thumbs up from me. Congratulations to OIM Omega for winning the $1,750 giveaway. And fellas, this week's giveaway is insane. We are at the $2,000 mark. For this giveaway, you can win $2,000 or you can take a PC and a PS5. You can take the cash or the prize. To enter, you just have to click the top link in the description or the pinned comment. It'll take you to this landing page where you can see the prizes, and then click click here to enter giveaway. Next, you'll have to put in your email and your username. Make sure you put in a valid email because that's where we'll contact you if you win. From there, it'll take you to the Capital One Shopping Extension install page. To enter your giveaway entry, you have to install the Capital One Shopping Extension to your browser. It is completely free and it'll take you about 30 seconds to enter. Once you've installed the extension, that's it. You are in for this giveaway and all future ones that we do with Capital One Shopping. We're going to be doing the draw for this one fairly soon, so make sure you enter quickly. Now back to the video. Next up, we had the Latino World Order taking on Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford alongside Bobby Lashley in what was supposed to be a 3-on-3 match, which turned into a 3-on-2 handicap match, which ultimately then turned back into a 3-on-3 match when Carlito finally debuted in the WWE again. Obviously, I love Carlito. That goes without saying. Carlito is one of my favorite Latino WWE superstars of all time. But I gotta tell you, I don't love the fact that they changed his entrance theme. His entrance theme is so iconic. It's so good. However, I think as a smart wrestling fan, I can connect the dots that a new entrance theme definitely means that this is a long run for Carlito, that this isn't some sort of Legends contract where he's just there to show up a couple of times per year. Like, Carlito is in. He is in the trenches, and him having a new entrance theme, I think, is a big dead giveaway of that. Ultimately, the LWO alongside Carlito ended up winning. I think for me, I was left a little bit disappointed, me personally, because I wanted Carlito to turn on Rey Mysterio. I wanted Carlito to steal the LWO from Rey Mysterio and turn them into that cool heel faction. But I still think it's going to go down that way. We just have to wait a little bit longer. But ultimately, like, the match was fine. Like, it wasn't anything. Like, to me, this match was about the Carlito return. That's all it was for. Because in terms of in-ring work, it was very average. Like, if this was on SmackDown, it wouldn't be any different. Honestly, what made this special truly was Carlito. That's it. So I guess because Carlito was in it, it still gets a thumbs up from me. But had this not had Carlito in it, it likely would have been a thumbs down. And I would have been asking, why is this on a PLE? Next up, we have the women's triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship in what I thought up to this point was the best match of the night, in Io Sky defending against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Ultimately, Io Sky ended up retaining, shockingly pinning Charlotte. I was certain that either one of two things were going to happen. Charlotte was going to win because it's Charlotte and she wins. Like, that's just one of the rules of life. Death, taxes, and Charlotte winning another women's championship that she doesn't need. Or I thought that Io Sky was going to pin Asuka, and they ended up hitting me with an Uno reverse card because I was not expecting Charlotte to be the one to take the pin. So like that was a really nice and pleasant surprise. Personally, I really enjoyed this match. I think that this was better than the triple threat match at SummerSlam. I think these three ladies have much more chemistry than what we saw at SummerSlam. So I would not mind seeing a rematch of some sort between these three ladies on SmackDown or at Survivor Series. But shout out to this match. I thought that this match was fantastic. I did like the result too. I liked the fact that it was Bayley that helped Io Sky win as they continued to build that storyline, because I felt like they were doing the end of Damage Control maybe a little bit too premature. So this storyline is going to drag out a little bit longer, maybe leading to a match at most likely the Royal Rumble between Io Sky and Bayley. But overall, I really liked the work rate of this match. I thought that the in-ring storytelling between all of them was fantastic. I love that sometimes it felt like a 2-on-1 match between Io Sky and Asuka teaming up on Charlotte. Everything about this match had me pretty well pleased. So overall, I'm going to give this one a thumbs up as well. Before the next match, we had Pat McAfee come out and absolutely lie to the people of Indianapolis, trying to get their hopes up that a WrestleMania is going to be in Indianapolis. As if. Let me tell you right now that is a big, bold-faced lie. This is straight up politics that the WWE is doing. If you don't know, the WWE is turning WrestleMania into the World Cup, basically, where they're having countries, where they're having cities basically bid for WrestleMania because they know that WrestleMania is a massive boost to a country or a city's economy. So they're having John Cena go to London and say, we want WrestleMania in London. And then Pat McAfee, we want WrestleMania in Indiana. I wouldn't be surprised if next we have Rey Mysterio vouching for a WrestleMania WrestleMania in San Diego. All this is to try and put political pressure on these local governments to try and get them to bid for WrestleMania. I promise you, no disrespect from people from Indianapolis, you're not fucking getting WrestleMania. This is all just politics. Tell me when I'm lying, but it's just so obvious what the WWE is doing here, and I think it's lame, I think it's cheap, and I think honestly it's a little bit mean because those hicks from Indianapolis ain't getting WrestleMania. You might get Fastlane, but you're not getting WrestleMania. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Oh man, all 5 of my viewers from Indianapolis are pissed. It's a joke. Relax, okay? It's a joke, folks, all right? I'm dressed as Sailor Moon, okay? You can't take anything I say seriously. I'm not a femboy. This is a cosplay. All right, this isn't a femboy. This is me cosplaying as Sasha Banks from the Royal Rumble a few years ago. This is a wrestling cosplay. This isn't a weird femboy thing. Not that if you're into femboy stuff, like you do you, man, you do you. But after Pat McAfee spent 5 minutes lying to the people of Indianapolis, we had John Cena and LA Knight taking on the Bloodline, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Not once did I think that this match was going to be good as a technical masterpiece in the ring. This needed to be a match that got the crowd excited, and it was exactly that. It was exactly what it needed to be. John Cena did his John Cena thing and allowed LA Knight to do his LA Knight thing. The crowd adores LA Knight, and Cena was doing a really good job at allowing LA Knight to really bask in the moment and really playing to the crowd to get them to keep doing more LA Knight chants. So again, this match did everything that it needed to do, which was to make LA Knight a superstar, because everyone else that was involved in here has a firm spot in the roster. John Cena is John Cena. He's a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer, and Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa are already entrenched in one of the most famous factions in WWE history. The purpose of this match was to get LA Knight over, even more over than he already was, and I think it did all of that and more. LA Knight looked great in this match. I know one of my concerns is LA Knight has a bit of a sloppy tendency to botch some moves here or there, but he was clean. He did a very, very good job. He was also the person that got the hot tag. Again, the WWE played this all up perfectly to ensure that the crowd got super behind LA Knight, that LA Knight got all of the right pops, and he ended up being the one that got the pin. So in terms of booking decisions that they made all of the right calls. The match was fine, but again, it didn't need to be a technical marvel. It needed to help get LA Knight over, and it did all of that right. So again, for me, gets a thumbs up because I was smiling and I was excited throughout this entire match. So here's the thing, I've been giving thumbs up to this entire card so far, but it hasn't been like these like unanimous 30 thumbs up. Like that's why I said at the beginning, this pay-per-view was fine. It was okay, but it hasn't blown me away up until this point. So I just wanted to clarify again what I was saying at the beginning. It was just, it just left a lot to be desired, but it's not a bad PLE. However, the main event was fucking phenomenal. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Seth Rollins in one of the most entertaining last man standing matches that I've seen in a very long time. Seth Rollins ultimately ended up getting the win here. Bro, this match had it all. Nakamura looked amazing in this match. I was saying during the stream, twitch.tv/SantiZap, that I think that this is the best that Nakamura has looked ever since he got called up to the main roster. He looked ruthless. He looked very technically sound. He was a daredevil. Like, dude, Nakamura was doing it all. However, this match, if I have one complaint, it's not even a complaint about this match. It's a complaint about last man standing matches in general. And that complaint is that baby faces literally need to be sawed in half by a chainsaw in order to be able to lose. Because Seth Rollins took so many crazy bumps. He took so much offense. Dude got beat up by motherfucking nunchucks, all right? He went through an announce table. He went through a regular table. He fell off the second story of the arena onto a crash pad, and he just kept getting up at 9. And that's just how it is with last man standing matches. You need to literally murder the babyface for the babyface to lose. Meanwhile, a heel takes one big move, and that's it. That's all she wrote. The match is over. And that's exactly what happened here, because Seth Rollins hit Nakamura with with a beautiful Falcon arrow on through from the stands to a table, and Nakamura almost stood up at the 10, and Seth Rollins just stood up at the 10, and Seth Rollins won. So that's my only complaint. But again, it's not a complaint about this match. It's a complaint about last man standing matches in general. I feel like they're just too formulaic in that way. I feel like they need to find a more exciting way to help put over the babyface without making them look like 2007 Super Cena. Sir, rating system, whatever. But to me, this is a perfect match. I personally had a tremendous amount of fun watching this match. We even had a cool miss spot that made it look like Seth Rollins was bleeding, and he wasn't, but it made it look that way, which was cool. Overall, I enjoyed just about every single aspect of this match. This gets an absolute thumbs up from me. Now, in terms of like a lack of payoff, I think that there was a lack of payoff here, but it was a lack of payoff that was properly explained, because this was the perfect opportunity for a cash in. Like Seth Rollins, like I said, basically got run over by cars and he managed to win, but it was perfect, right for the taking for Damian Priest to cash in and become your new world heavyweight champion. And I felt underwhelmed that didn't happen, but it was explained earlier in the night that Damian Priest basically busted open his knee and mommy confiscated his briefcase and wasn't able to cash it in. I saw a lot of people throwing out ton of conspiracy theories like, oh, what if he grabs his old green briefcase and cashes in that one? That's fucking stupid, okay? That's dumb, all right? Get that theory out of there. It's one briefcase, all right? I hate that my hair is like vibrating and my Sid the Sloth looking ass starts gyrating with it. That was my only complaint, honestly, from that main event, that we didn't have a cash-in, because I just thought it was just too perfect of an opportunity. But again, at the very least, WWE did a great job of explaining why the cash-in didn't happen. So overall, that main event gets 10 thumbs up for me. I think that main event was fantastic. And Fastlane also gets a thumbs up for me, but it was fine. Like it's not a memorable PLE. I'm not going to be talking about this PLE within a week. I'm going to be talking about Seth Rollins versus Nakamura, but this PLE, not so much, which is weird considering Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso also became tag champions. I feel like that's such a big moment, but it just weirdly doesn't feel like one. Anyways, that's it. Join us on twitch.tv/SantiZap so you can be part of the next watch along. The link will be down in the description below. Thank you very much for watching this video. All right, get out of here.